Hello and welcome to another episode of Coding with Toyo. Today we are going to be talking about something interesting. It was based on demand. We're going to be talking about MongoDB. So you might have heard if you're into data analysis or a software engineer, or you must have heard about MongoDB. MongoDB is a NoSQL database. We have different kind of data storage, and we just compare these two: MySQL, NoSQL. We have the graph database storage and all of this. For SQL databases, that means there is always a relationship. Data is related in form of tables. You have a customer table related to an orders table, a driver table related to a trip table, and all of those things. There's always a relationship. Just think relations, think tabular. But in form of MongoDB, just think documents. The way you store documents in your on your system. Your system is a storage location. You create a document on it, and you have different pictures in a particular folder of pictures. You can call it collection. So the same kind of idea. So this does not require it does not require relationship between tables, but it does require a unique ID for every of the collection you store. So interacting with databases, storing data in this form is a bit much faster than when it's relational storage, where you have to worry about the primary key, the foreign key, the indexes, and how your queries are structured. This is quite straightforward. Most of the apps these days that need speed and efficiency always use MongoDB. So it's a good thing that data in MongoDB is stored in form of objects. So we are going to talk about all of these things as fast as we can and meet up with this short video. So the first things first, we're going to use a local instance. But you should know that just like you deploy or databases are deployed on either AWS, Microsoft Azure, and every other database provider out there, you can also deploy MongoDB on your local machine. It will be a local instance running on your local host. For those of you that are using networking 127.0.0.1, that's your local host. So first things you go to their site. Either let's go to their site. Either yes, MongoDB. You can search them out online. Then you download your own version. You can download a free version, the MongoDB Compass. Download a free version for your desktop. I don't think it's paid. You don't have to pay for it. So just I will assume I don't want to teach you how to set it up because there is no time. I just want to teach you how to use it. So just go there, download it, and install it on your either your Windows, your Mac, your Linux, whatever operating system you're using. They will have a version for you. So when you install it, you will see it this way. Whenever you open your Compass, it's called the interaction interface with MongoDB is called Compass. So whenever you open your Compass, you see something in this manner. And for every of the there's what we call an instance connections. For every of the connection you have in a particular connection. This is your connection string here. MongoDB is showing localhost because I'm running on my local machine, and this is a default port. So for every of the connection instance that we have, I have an existing one that is called test. We have databases inside of it. In every database that you have, we have what you call collections inside of it. This is our connection string. This is our database, and we have a collection, which is the student, more like a table in SQL. That's a relation. Then every of this collection, you now have data inside of it. So the data is stored in form of objects having a unique object ID for every single data. So again, just look at the analogy of your computer. You have your computer to yourself, for example, and in your computer, you have a folder, an empty folder, and in your empty folder, you are storing maybe a folder for your movies, a folder for your pictures, a folder for your, you know, that's just what it is. So let's go on. We can interact with it with this interface, but I want us to interact with it with using Python programming language so that we can connect to it, interact, fetch data, and do some quick analytical stuff since the request was using MongoDB and connecting for analysis. And yeah, so let's get on. So these are um, Python interface. I'm using VS Code, like and we want to use this to connect to a MongoDB instance. Let's say we want to connect to a MongoDB instance, return the records in the MongoDB instance, then load whatever we have into a series or a data frame. This is the best time for me to tell us what a series is and what a data frame is, and maybe do a word cloud or just do something interesting with it. So let's just go on with it. So let's say the first things, like I like having a plan. We want to connect to a MongoDB client. That's once connect to a local MongoDB client. But before you do that, um, you need to install. If you're here to install the library that connects to MongoDB through Python, you do a PyMongo. So you do a pip. If you're here to install, you do a pip install PyMongo. But for me, I think I have it installed already. If you want to check if you have a library installed already, all you need to do is check the directory of whatever library you want to use. I'm doing this. So if I'm running, okay, let's import it first. I'll go to import PyMongo. So I want to check if it's existing. I will see a couple of display here telling me about, yeah. So I have PyMongo installed and I have all of these guys. But the ones we are going to be using today is this Mongo client I will use to connect to that. So let's quickly go over it. So from PyMongo, I want to import the Mongo client. So as soon as I import the Mongo client, we could get maybe the connection string and string, but let's just use the Mongo client to instantiate a new class for our connection. So let's call this connection. Let's call this connection. We want to create a new instance of the Mongo client DB. So we have the Mongo client and we want to pass two arguments to it. The first argument, let's say we want to run this on a local host, and the second argument, the port at which we are running this. So it's as easy as that. Then from our connection, we want to extract our database. When you look at our MongoDB Compass, this is the software. You can see that after the connection here, the next thing is our database before all of our collections and everything. So let's connect to our database. So let's say the DB that we are connecting to is from our connection, and let's connect to one of these databases. Let's use this one that says college student or college database. So it's on our connections, and we have college, I think that is it, underscore database. So this is what we have, college database. So after we connect to our database, the next thing we want to check is our collection in Python. Our collection is the actual folder that holds all our objects. So yes, quickly, let's just go and say collection. We want from the DB that we created above, we want to actually connect to the maybe students. Now you have to be careful about the semantics about how you spell, so that you don't make a mistake in most of what you are doing. So yeah, we have our connection collection database, and we have our collection to be connecting to students. So just with this, we're able to go into the database and return a whole lot of things. So let's just see what we have. Um, let's say collection. So you could call it anything, student or whatever it is a variable. I just want to see what it contains. It should return an object. Yeah, so it's telling me that it's returning a whole collection with the database going to mobile clients, returning document. So at the end of the day, this is what I want to see. Returning a dictionary for me. So that means the information is stored an object and returned as an object. And the good thing in Python is the object is represented as a dictionary having a key and a value pair. So again, if you must understand how to interact with MongoDB, you must be good at least to some point with dictionaries in Python, just having a key and a value pair. So if you understand that, then you can actually move forward. So let's say we want to see all the students or all the collections or all the files or whatever, all the information we have in our folder. So I'm using a folder analogy because you are used to your system, your filing system, your folder systems is the same thing. Just try to picture it in that look. So let's say we want to see all our students. So we already have different methods that are attached to our Mongo client instance that we created. So one of it that we are checking is the collection and we want to find. So when you're using the find, that means we say, hey, collection, we want to find all students. So let's print this out. Let's say all students. So something I want you to actually be aware of is at this point of your journey, either you're a data scientist or you're a data engineer, or yes, at this point of your journey, you just need to understand data types. In what type are your data coming back? In what, let me quickly see. In what type does MongoDB return data to me? So I'll just quickly say maybe a type, and I want to see what type of data is this? What type of data am I expecting? Because if you understand your type of data, then you can interact with it. So he's saying, yeah, I think this is definitely an object. But let's just go on and check it out. It will return also then. So again, you need to be familiar with some concept in Python, like yes, the data types, the data structures, like the operators, the for loops, and all of this. So let's say this all students returns a collection for us of all students. Let us look through it and see the number of students we have inside of it. So I'll just use what is called a list comprehension for those of us that are used to Python. If not, you can use the conventional list. So I want to print the students. I want to print students for student that we found in all students. So for students in all students, I want to actually print out students. So this should give me a list of the students I have existing in my MongoDB instance, all things equal. So you can see it returned each student as a dictionary in Python. But if you're working with JavaScript and all those guys, you can see as an object. Same thing. It has a key and a value pair. This is the key. The key is ID. This is the value, a name. This is the value, course. This is value, and all of this. So the same thing that we can see here. If I quickly go into my compass, that's the same thing we are seeing on this side. Key, value, key, value, key, value. So we are going to be interacting with this in a key and a value pair. So that means this particular student variable we have in this for loop is actually returning each and every student for us. So one thing you should notice is every record in this database collection has a unique ID. There is no mistake about it because that's the only way MongoDB is able to keep track of different records. So there is no duplicate in the ID. Everybody has its own unique ID, so that you can query students based on their IDs and all of these. So let's just quickly work with one of these guys. Let's say, let me see, anybody with detailed information. Okay, before then, let me quickly show you how you can insert. This is not what we're doing, but let me just quickly show you how you can insert. So let's comment this out. Let me just say I want to say inserting a new record. Now, since we already have a connection, so if I want to insert a new record, I have an understanding that record are stored in a key and a value pair. So why not have a new record as an object, then push the object into MongoDB? Anyhow you want to do it, anyhow you see it's easier for you. So I'll just say maybe I'll call it a new record, and I'll say a new record should be a dictionary at the end of the day. So on a dictionary, I want to do a yes, I want to do a key and a value. Then this is the key. I could say name, and the value for name. I could just put this. Then you go ahead and say maybe age. The key is age, and the value is let me give a vampire age, maybe a 500 years old, which is impossible. So you can go and say maybe courses. Courses is a value and keep your value pair, but with an array on the side, maybe a Boolean type. So if you want to understand all of these things, you have to learn Python, at least the basics first, before we start putting it. So as soon as we are done with this, we want to insert it into MongoDB um, database so that we have a new student with this name and all of these details. So it's easier as saying we are calling our collection. So collection dots. You can see we have different method, insert one, insert indexes, and so many guys. So let's just go with insert. You can see insert many, insert so. If you're inserting more than one record, of course, insert many. But we want to do an insert one. And what do we want to insert in the database? We want to insert this particular new record. So we just want to insert. We're written a quick if to check if record says successful, but we don't have much time. So if I just run this, automatically I will see a new student in my database here. If I come here and um, let me quickly do a refresh. If I refresh this based on my connection, you can see the new student, which says ID, name, age is 500, just what we had. The courses is an array, and this is the Boolean type. So understanding data type is also very, very important when you store your record in your database and when you retrieve them from your database. I don't plan for this video to be longer, but it seems we might have to break it into two parts and have two videos for MongoDB all together. If you want to learn it, you just let me know. So let's just quickly head back. You can see now we are able to insert a new record, but that's not where we're going to. Let's say we want to get a particular student. So this is fetching all students at once. Let's say fetching a single record. So you can fetch a single record either based on their ID or based on their name, but just make sure that you are passing in a criteria as an argument. So if you're used to the world of programming, you know the difference between an argument and a parameter. If not, again, just reach out. I'm going to try and break this down for you. So let me say I want to get a particular student, maybe the student we just added. So let's say I'm fetching a single student. So I would say a collection dot find one. So this is the name I just added. This is just the student I want to check. So I want to actually get this record and I want to print it out. So I just do this. And if I run this, you'll see the information about that student's ID, name. Now notice it came as an object. So as soon as I see this as a dictionary, I'm able to interact with it as a dictionary. For example, if I call this if I call this single student and I say equal to the collection dot find, and I say I want to print a single student, and I just want to see the values, not with the keys. So I could do this because I know it came out as a dictionary, because I know the type of data it is. So if I do this, I can see it's returning that this is the dictionary values with this is the object, this is the name, this is the age, and these are the array. So um mostly, I can do a whole lot of Python thing here. Maybe I just want to get the last element in the object that came back. Okay, we have a little bit dictionary is not subscript. Subscript. Let's run this again. This is telling us that it's returning all these keys. So let's get a particular key and see. Student dot get. Let us just get the courses. So it returned only the courses for me. And if I say among the courses, maybe I just want to see the last course that we are seeing. Maybe, yes, Python has a negative indexing. That means I can start. I just want to return biology, which is the last element in this. So I will continue this video and try moving this from just fetching value to a data frame, then down to analysis. But this is how you interact with it. First of all, you install your PyMongo, you create a connection using the Mongo client instance, then you connect your DB, you get your collection or whatever information you want to get, then you start interacting with it at the end of the day. So I'll do a next video for us on how you can use this for analysis. See you in the next video.